Hi guys, and welcome to Jab and Move with your host Stephen. And huge news in the boxing world. Tyson Fury retires. He has announced it only a couple of hours ago that he is done with the boxing game. He's done with fighting, and he will go off now in the sunset and enjoy the big bags of money that he's earned. But is this true? Is there still a fight in the air? And is it all just a ploy to get the big bag of money for the Joshua fight? We'll go through that. We'll have a look and see what your thoughts are on this one, guys. So, having a look at it, going through everything, I don't think he's retiring. I really don't. I think he's playing the game here. I think he knows that everyone now is very much anticipating the anti-Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight. And he's looking now to really push home his advantage. Say, actually, I'm retiring. I've had enough. Don't want any more of this. Just so Turkey I'll shake. Will come there with a big fat check for him and say 50 million, 70 million, whatever it is, you fight, Wembley Stadium, in front of 95,000 million pay-per-views plus, let's go for it. And I think that's what he's looking for. I think that's what he wants. I think that's part of this whole ploy, really. I don't think he's retiring. I don't think he can retire, if I'm honest. He beat Wilder in the third fight, and his stock was the best. They were talking about him as being one of the greatest to ever live and the greatest of his generation right now. And then he decided to go and fight Dillian Whyte, which was it was a standard fight. I was going to say, God, it's mandatory. I can't knock that one at all. But then it went bad from there. Chisora, just giving him a payday. Ridiculous, personally, in my opinion. And Ngannou didn't even look like he trained a day for that fight. Turned up, think he was going to beat him, because he's the boxer and everything. And yes, he did beat him, but it's a lot closer than he thought it was going to be. And I think that shot a few nerves in his system on that one. And then he went into the two fights with Usyk and been, to be honest, absolutely outgunned in both fights. He got unanimously beaten in the first fight. I don't care what anyone says. It wasn't a split decision. It's a joke that it was even considered a split decision. It was a unanimous victory for Usyk. And in the second fight, coming back, he did look better. Like I say, in the early rounds, he looked like he was back to a little bit old of that Fury that we know. But it tailed off quite quickly. And again, by 2-3 rounds, Usyk took it. He absolutely took the victory there and won both fights. So he is the best of the generation. He is the best and of this current crop of fighters and considered now one of the greatest. So what does Fury do? He's lost 2 on the round. Does he really retire now? He's only lost 2 fights. He's lost them to the greatest of this generation. Does he now go in the sunset and say, I'm done? I think it's a bad look if he does. I really do. I think he needs to go now and win. Who does he fight? I think there's only 2 names he should fight. It's Daniel Dubois and it's Anti-Joshua. Anti-Joshua is the big payday. It's the big name. All due respect to Dubois, he's a really good fighter and he has improved massively over the last few fights, but he hasn't got Joshua's name. Joshua is the big name. Whether you like him or not, whether you think he's regressed and past it now, he is still a big name. So Fury Joshua has to be the next fight. I don't understand why this hasn't been done already. I think it was something I expected to do. I was actually going to film a video about it saying that this should be signed off now. But again, is it just tactics? Is it getting everyone excited? Is it saying, actually, I'm retiring, but like I say, we're going to get an August-September showdown between the 2 fighters. Wembley Stadium, 95,000 people. I think we do. The main thing is really, is that something we want? Is that something the boxing public want to see now, which is Fury, Joshua? Is that the thing that we want? I'm not so sure. Again, back in 2021 when Fury beat Wilder and Joshua had the other 3 bouts, we were talking about an undisputed title undisputed fight between the 2 best British heavyweights at that time. That would have done tremendous numbers. It would have been 2 fighters in their absolute prime, putting themselves on the line in front of millions, tens of millions of people around the world to see who is the best heavyweight of that generation. And if they would have got that fight over the line at that point, it would have been the biggest fight in history. But now, is it the biggest fight in history? No. Is it the biggest fight right now? I would argue it isn't, personally, because they've regressed. They're not the 2 that they were before. Fury is not the Fury of 2021. Joshua is not the Joshua of 2020. They're not the same fighters. Joshua has lost quite a few fights now, and also he's fought fighters who are not that good. They're not good fighters. Before he fought again against an active, live wire in Dubois and got absolutely demolished. Fury again. He beat Wilder, fantastic. He was top of the game at that point. That was 4 years ago. Since then, he's scraped past Ngannou. He has danced around Chisora, which we all knew that was going to happen at the time. And Dillian Whyte just looked like he wasn't even ready for it. He didn't look like he was there to take his shot. So, again, good victory. But was it the best Dillian Whyte? I would say it wasn't. So, yeah, they both regressed. They're both not the strongest. They're both not nowhere near their best. So, what do you guys think? Let me know. Like I said, do you think he's retired? I don't think he's retired. I think this is all a play to get a big bag of money for an August-September showdown of Anthony Joshua. And also, if that fight does go ahead, if it is Anthony Joshua versus Fury, do you want to see that fight? Is that the fight you want to see next? I think it's either him or Dubois. Joshua packs the biggest name. But is it going to be the fight we wanted? No. Is it still the fight that people crave? I think so. Let me know, guys. Put your comments, likes and subscribes in for me. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye.